What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now I did want to share the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 21 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We actually got 2 picks wrong and got 21 right, which is a 95% win rate. Yes guys, you heard that right, 95% win rate. So we are on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 95% win rate and get 21 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon. Should be a link down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $2,400 just yesterday, and another member who won $156 for the 5th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, a link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout to Sandy was here who said thank you, and shouts out to Kavile Fly who spammed up the love heart emoji. So shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're talking about is none other than Jonquel Jones, and this one is for 9.5 rebounds, and this one actually is for less. Now looking at Jonquel Jones, we actually have seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now this one's an interesting one because we do know when it comes to Jonquel Jones, we saw on September 6th, faced off against Seattle, had 2 rebounds there. September 10th, faced off against Washington, had 11 rebounds. Then September 12th, faced off against Chicago, had 3 rebounds. Then September 15th, faced off against Phoenix, had 12 rebounds. Then 13 rebounds against Phoenix again on September 18th. So, as you all know, when it comes to this matchup, we do know that Jonquel Jones does face off against none other than Phoenix Mercury coming into this game. There is only one WNBA game, so a lot of these picks are going to be, kind of a mix of all of them. But looking at this one, we do very much like this pick, as we have actually seen, when it comes to New York Liberty and Phoenix, first of all, we do want to mention that the series is tied 1-1. So this is definitely going to be a very crucial game because whoever wins this does advance to the next round. So, this one's definitely going to be a big one. Looking at where both these teams did rank during the regular season, however, we did see Liberty actually come in at the 5th spot in the WNBA. Not only did they have the 5th spot in the WNBA, but they also ranked 2nd in the Eastern Conference. Now, they had a record of 27 wins, 17 losses. That's a 61.4% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 17-5 from home, 10-12 from away, and we're currently on a 3-game win streak. So very interesting to see there. Now when it comes to Jonquel Jones as well, we do know when it comes to New York Liberty, they face off against Phoenix Mercury, or Phoenix Mercury did do a little bit better overall ranking wise because they came in at the 4th spot in the WNBA. Not only that, they came 3rd in the Western Conference. They had a record of 27 wins, 17 losses. That's a 61.4% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 15-7 from home, 12-10 from away, and we're currently on a 3-game losing streak. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at Jonquel during the regular season, we definitely did see her do a decent job at times. But coming into this matchup, we do know that Phoenix Mercury, when it comes to rebounds allowed, they do actually rank 10th. So they're actually ranked 10th when it comes to rebounds allowed, so pretty poorly. However, the reason why we do like the under for this situation here is that we actually do see that Phoenix actually do a really good job at restricting rebounds to the center position. Now, although the first 2 games, we actually have seen Jonquel Jones have a very good, I would say, rebounding nights, we are expecting in this game 3 to be a little bit different. Obviously, with Jonquel Jones having done a fantastic job in the first 2, we do believe that this line is a little bit now inflated, that now there's a lot more value to go in the under, especially in a crucial game that is game 3. In game 3s or in end game situations, we tend to see teams really hone in on their defense and try to restrict as much as they can, and that's what we are expecting in this game. So although Jonquel has done well in the first 2 games, we are expecting in this 3rd one, unfortunately, we may see a different outcome there. there. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for this one. So Jonquel Jones, 9.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Satou Sabally. Now, this one is actually 14.5 points, and this one actually is for less. Now, when we look at Satou Sabally, we actually have seen her go on the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we do see on September 7th, faced off against Connecticut Sun, had 11 points there. September 10th, faced off against Los Angeles Sparks, had 24 points. Then September 12th, faced off against Dallas, had 14 points. September 15th, faced off against New York Liberty, had 9 points, and then 15 points against Liberty on September 18th. So it has definitely been interesting there. Obviously, looking at Satou Sabally, we have seen her go on the under, as I've mentioned, in 3 out of the last 5. And we do know that her average over the last 5 is also 14.6. So pretty interesting to see there. Now, obviously, looking at this, we do know that Phoenix Mercury come across or are facing off against New York Liberty, as we all know. Now, we have already talked about their rankings, but just to reiterate again, we do know Phoenix Mercury do come in at the 4th spot in the WNBA, but 3rd in the Western Conference. Now, though they have a record of 27 wins and 17 losses, I do also have to mention that over the last 10 games, they've actually had a record of 6-4. Now, facing off against New York Liberty, we do know Liberty ranked 5th in the WNBA, have a record of 27 wins and 17 losses, but over the last 10 games have actually had a record of 6-4. So it is definitely going to be an exciting game. Now, we do know coming into this matchup, we do also know that when it comes to Satou Sabally, we definitely have seen her do a decent game in the first 2, but the series is tied 1-1. This is the final game, go win or go home in that sense. But looking at actually New York Liberty defensively, we do know that New York Liberty did rank during the regular season 6th when it came to points allowed. So they rank pretty decent, somewhat, I would say, higher mid-tier. But coming into this one, we do also know when it comes to Satou Sabally, we also do know that the reason why we do like the under for this situation is that Liberty not only just do a decent job, but Liberty actually do a fantastic job at restricting points to the forward position, which is what Sabally is. So we definitely are expecting the under for this situation here. Now, as I mentioned before, when it comes to this one, it is definitely interesting to see because game 3s, as I've always mentioned, the win or go home type games, we tend to see the defense really turned up a notch. And with Satou Sabally being such a big player for this Phoenix Mercury team, we are expecting a lot of the attention to be on her and try to restrict her as much as they can. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone of Sabally's, placement being able to go on the under in this one. And we also have seen her, kind of struggle to reach this line over the last 5 games as well. And although she did reach it in the most recent game against Liberty, she did only make it over by 0.5. So nothing really too crazy there. So that's why coming into this one, we definitely do very, very much like the under once again. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have our favored for the under as well. So that works out in our favor there. So for that reason, Satou Sabally, 14.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So getting into the next pick, we're going to be talking about none other than Breanna Stewart. And this one is for Breanna Stewart for 13.5 points. And this one actually is for more. Now, looking at Breanna Stewart, we actually have seen her go on the over in 4 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we did see on September 6th, faced off against Seattle, had 24 points there. Then 14 points against Washington Mystics on September 10th. Then September 12th, faced off against Chicago, had 24 points. Then 18 points against Phoenix Mercury on September 15th. And September 18th, faced off against Phoenix and had 6 points there. So it's definitely been pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Breanna Stewart, we definitely have seen her, do a pretty decent job in a sense that, she has definitely been able to go on the over quite consistently. But looking at this one, we do also know when it comes to Breanna Stewart, we also have seen that, not only has she done perform well, but her average over the last 5 is also 17.2. Now, coming into this matchup, we do know New York Liberty faced off against Phoenix Mercury. Now, I don't think I need to explain to you, when it comes to the rankings, we do know where both these teams do rank, and this is the only game, for today. But looking at this one, we do very, very much like this situation, as when we look at New York Liberty and Phoenix Mercury, we do know that Phoenix Mercury do rank 5th when it comes to points allowed. So they do rank pretty decent. However, what we also do know is that when it comes to Phoenix Mercury, when it comes to Breanna Stewart, they actually do a pretty poor job at restricting points to her position. Now, we definitely expect someone like Breanna Stewart, who does have a high usage rate for this team, we definitely are expecting her to be able to take advantage of this. Now, although she did struggle in game 2, we are expecting, since we have seen her, really struggle in that most recent game, her line has fallen a little bit, that now we do believe there's a lot more value actually to go on the over. When it comes to Breanna Stewart, she is a great player. She will be able to bounce back from games like that. And although a lot of, I guess I would say people aren't really expecting her to do that well, since she did poorly in the last one, we are expecting, her lines coming out a little bit more lower. That is a lot more value actually to go on the over. And when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also agree with us there. They do like the over for this situation. But on top of that, what we also do see when it comes to Breanna and also New York Liberty and Phoenix Mercury, kind of matchup, we are expecting, Phoenix Mercury to really struggle at defending that position, which is Breanna Stewart, or Breanna Stewart's position. So for that reason, we are definitely liking the over for this situation here. So definitely keep an eye out for it. So Breanna Stewart, 13.5 points for more, I think is a fantastic pick.